Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm still thinking it's Monday, but happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you had an incredible Labor Day weekend. Let's see who's in the house tonight. Essie Stone, welcome back. Happy Tuesday, Essie Stone says to everyone. Brian and Simone Adams, happy Tuesday, family. Happy Tuesday, SL. Happy Tuesday, Deliria Washington. Welcome back. Protecting My Peace 44. Hello from the DMV. That's where I am. Hello. JP Mills, always good to see your name, JP. Hey, y'all. Colette Davis, always good to see you joining us. Hi, everyone. Sandra McGee, hello. Last name Shaw. I know you told me how to say it. Hey, Al. Hey, I'm gonna get your name right. Afra Sings at Al Reynolds. You need to come see me tomorrow night. Oh, yeah. At Navy Yard. Let's see. Tomorrow is, I teach all day on tomorrow. All right, let me know the time. V Thompson 46. Hey. Venetia Phillips, what's going on? Cecilia Golden, thank you so much for joining. Christine R. Look at you being on time. We trying. LVF, welcome back. And Janine Gardner, welcome. All right, everybody, here we go. Tonight's episode is called Rumors, Scams, RICO, and Reality Checks. All right, everybody, order is in this court. This is Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, where the headings go on trial, and you, the jury, you get the last word. Tonight's docket, though, is like a roller coaster. First up, we have a former NFL player, Darryl Buster, accused of running a $300,000 dating scam. I want to know, is this love or is this fraud? Then we're going to have a peep into NBA baller PJ Washington and the catfight he had with Brittany Renner. Was he really trapped by Brittany, or is this just social media slander? Then, of course, we're going to dig deep into the Young Thug and the YSL RICO case, because we need to know how much damage did Gunna's plea really do. And last but not least, Karen Huger, the Grand Dame of Potomac, is back on the streets early after a DUI conviction. And the question we want to know here is, should we celebrate her release or question the system? Please remember, this is not TMZ. This is testimony. We don't gossip. We cross-examine. So let's get to it. Joining us tonight, we have a courtroom full. First up, we have the fiery civil attorney, Shatan Turner. Shatan Turner, welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Glad to be back, Your Honor. Did you have a good Labor Day? Oh, I had a great weekend. I had lots of parties.
It was my family reunion, and I was the host, the planner, and everything in between. And we had the time of our life in Virginia, man. We did the slide, boots on the ground all night long, as you can imagine, eating and drinking and laughing and catching up. It was a family reunion that will go down as one of the best in history, and that was our 57th family reunion. All right, joining that fiery civil attorney Turner, we have our Esquire entertainment attorney, Ashley Carter. Welcome to Celebrity Court.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be back on Celebrity Court. What do you call them? Algorators?
Algorators. All right, welcome back, counselor. All right, joining the two ladies, we have the civil attorney, Jason Weiss, and author of Shit They Never Taught You in Law School. Jason Weiss, come on in here. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excited to be back after having a nice Labor Day weekend. Getting to give back to the community, helping out the Jason Taylor Foundation.
Cool, I saw that. Congratulations.
Cool gear for the school year. We help 60 kids go shopping for clothing they wouldn't have otherwise. So it's awesome, and I just want to say thank you to the Jason Taylor Foundation.
Absolutely. All right, and last but not least, humorist at law, Sean Carter. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Hey, everybody. I'm here enjoying myself. I'm having almost as good a day as Cory Booker is pretending to have now that he's supposed to be married, engaged.
What, again?
Yep. Now look at that smile. He's showing all 32 teeth, molars and everything. Ain't nobody that happy to be never agreeing to never get no more new Tootsie Cat. Now, he a lying fool, but that's all right. Let him be in the closet for now.
Oh gosh, that's funny. All right, everybody. Court is now in session. All right, first up, Former NFL player Daryl Buster is accused of scamming women he met online out of $300,000. The charges are fraud, identity theft, and theft by taking. I can't wait for the attorneys to explain to us what theft by taking is. Prosecutors say he built fake relationships, fabricated financial problems, then promised repayment from his NFL pension. To make it messier, Canada says he pulled the same thing there in their country and fled while on bail. All right, I'm going to go to you first, Attorney Shaitan Turner. Tell me about what exactly is theft by taking as it relates to this particular former NFL player, Daryl Buster.
It's one of the few laws that's actually intuitive in terms of the way that it's described, right? It means that he took someone's property unlawfully. This whole scam, he was meeting women online on dating sites with the intent of lying to them, taking advantage of them, and stealing from them. But for the stealing, it sounds like what I believe dating sites to be anyway, that everybody's lying and taking advantage of everybody else. I think he's probably like, where's the crime? Where's the crime?
All right, let's go to you, Attorney Carter, Sean Carter. Attorney Carter, tell me, if that's the case, a lot of people could get in trouble for swindling women out of money on the dating apps, no?
Or vice versa, right? I need to get my hair did, nails did, right? And I'm not really interested in you. The difference is that's kind of okay. What it gets bad is when you start making up lies like he made up, which is like, I got this emergency fund, I'm going to pay you back. And by the way, that's the good thing is I give it to you ladies, you don't even pretend to pay back. You ain't never giving us our money back. We know that. All right. He was like, oh no, I made all this money. And by the way, he made $440 million during his playing career.
40
million. He out here stealing 300,000. That'd be like Jeff Bezos stealing a tip cup at Starbucks, right? Like, what are you doing? You got money, all right? You should, all right. And you ran through 40 million. We can't trust you with 300,000, all right? Yeah. And so he was, if he would have been okay if he just said, "Hey, give me the money because I'm cute," but he was like, "No, I'm going to give you the money back." Right? I just had this short-term emergency. Family member this. I just need you to Venmo me this. And he, by the way, I love the fact that he went transnational on it, right? U.S. and Canada.
He said, since I'm in North America, let me go ahead and take care of North America. All right, Attorney Weiss, let me ask you this. I need for somebody to help me and the algorithms understand, when did it become a crime to borrow money from somebody and not pay it back?
It's always a crime let's do that. So a lot of times if you call the police and you say that I lent money to so-and-so and they're not giving it back to me, the police are going to say that's civil and go ahead and hire an attorney like me or, Attorney Carter or somebody else to go ahead and help you out. But what happened is he made false promises. He says, I got an annuity that's coming up because I played in the NFL and the money is coming and it's tied up and all of this and all that. So he basically had an unauthorized taking of this money, made false promises, and it basically stole the money. That's what it is. And Georgia is very tough on that. It's stolen money. It's a crime. They're going to prosecute, and especially because it's Georgia, Canada, and a whole high-profile gentleman.
All right, I want to ask the question one more time because no one's seeming to answer this question to me. How is this any different than my cousin? Excuse me. And I'm like, okay, what do you need the money for? It's a straight out lie what I'm told the money is needed for. I give it to them and they never give it back. Somebody on the panel, please explain to me when and how does that become a crime?
It's Georgia the law during the taking, right? I think, and Jason can correct me, but I do think generally in each state. So the difference between what you're saying with what your cousin does, right, borrows money and doesn't give it back to you, versus what happened in this case is there is like this fraud inducement. Now with their cousin, they may actually be trying to pay it back at some point, and maybe it just never happens. With this man, it's a whole scheme. It's not like, oh, it's just one person. Like, he has a whole fraudulent scheme. Once it starts happening to more than one person, it's going to start creeping over to the criminal side as a scheme.
And again, and that's Georgia. That's Georgia law. Georgia law says if you have the intent to take and you have no intention of giving it back, that is a crime. So you have to show the intent. And I apologize to Attorney Turner for talking over her.
Attorney Turner, really quick. Does crossing borders in fraud cases guarantee a harsher sentence because he's got a previous case in Canada over here?
Well, that exposes him to international issues. My understanding is he had a ankle bracelet on that he disconnected, and that's how he was able to come to the States. And so he has issues because he fled the country, and it just gets compounded because he came here. But one thing I was going to say is the fraud and the inducement issue that Attorney Carter brought up, that's the secret sauce here, because your cousin, you guys have relationship, right? They didn't become cousins with you for the intention of taking your money, but maybe you met some new cousins at the reunion and they were fake cousins, and that's why they were there, because they found out you were going to be there and you had but as it relates to him, he was on these dating sites for the purposes of meeting women to take their money, not for the purposes of having a relationship. And so they were able to track his intent to the formation of the relationship, to the fact that he had no intention of paying the money back. And then there was the lie that he had this annuity coming up. So he's got some real problems.
All right, let's go to the algorithm. Algorithms, jump down in the chat. Should romance scammers like Buster get long prison terms, or is this just financial crime with feelings attached? All right, let me ask the question one more time. Should romance scammers like Buster get long prison terms, or is this just financial crime with feelings attached? Drop in there long terms. Emotional abuse counts too, or no, it's money, not violence. So yes, emotional abuse counts too, or no, it's money, not violence. It's money, not violence. All right, speaking of violence, boy, did it almost get violent between PJ Washington and Brittany Renner. All right, PJ Washington and Brittany Renner's relationship gave us a baby, it gave us a breakup, and it gave us a flood of rumors. Social media said he was paying $200,000 a month in child support. He called cap. In reality, North Carolina courts calculate support based on income and needs, and those numbers don't add up to $200,000. But guess what? The damage to his reputation was already done. All right, I'm going to go to you, Attorney Ashley Carter. Talk to me about how do courts really calculate child support for athletes, and how different is it from, obviously a viral moment where they were like, he owed her $200,000, which some of us believed, like me, but didn't understand how.
So the short answer is celebrity fathers are not treated separately from non-celebrity fathers. I'm sure Jason will chime in. There is an actual calculator for each state where you put all the mom's contributions, expenses, and how much she makes on one side, and then you do the same thing for the dad. And then they get down to the bottom. And typically, if the child is with the mother more, the number on the side of the sheet for the dad goes up. So this is why a lot of times, even if women don't want to be with their children all the time, they will ask for more days, because the more days they have, that amount goes up. So in this particular case, if he owes what they say he owes, it's over a period of time. I don't know what the court ordered that he's supposed to pay every month. I don't know if that's something we can find. I'm sure we can find it somewhere unless it's sealed. So if it is in the six figures, it sounds like it's arrears. It sounds like it's multiple months that for whatever reason he didn't pay.
All right, let's take a look before we continue the conversation on the Brittany Renner and PJ Washington interaction.
Okay, hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this. Because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him. You gonna give him his bag and stuff?
That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he cries, we're gonna record that. And it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say?
I'd love to.
What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would.
Weird ass bitch.
Pussy ass
Hey, you
bitch.
wish I would,
Pussy
bitch.
ass. What the fuck you looking at?
That's on my way, bitch.
Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
You don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 to that
You don't
bitch.
got shit in your
Get out
bank
the car.
account.
Get out the car. Get out the car. Come on.
Well, I gotta be honest. All right. And let's have a real conversation here. All right. The fact that he's going to pick up his son when he's supposed to go pick up his son, give him his child without the drama. If anybody on this panel has had kids, you know that kid, if he spends all that time with his mother, when it's time for him to leave, he may start crying.
Will start crying. My kids would go spend time with grandma and grandpa, and they were crying because they didn't want to leave. Friends come over and they cry because they don't want to leave.
Right.
And just for the record, the $200,000 is in arrears. She even says she only gets $2,500 a month. So that would mean that he hasn't paid in a long, long time, and I'm sure that's not the case. But this is, look, and someone put it in the comments. Supervised exchanges are going to need to start happening now. And that's what I recommend to everybody who was on that video.
You know what? The sad part here that really upset me is that she had a friend record the exchange. Mm-hmm. She had planned this all out to make it seem like he was chastising the child or emotionally, creating a conflict for the child. Like the child doesn't want to go with him. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go to our resident mother and of three. Shatan Turner, what are your thoughts here?
So I think there's a lot to unpack. I would be reluctant to reach any conclusions based on this video alone because there's some history here, right? This is just a whole messy situation. So that baby, I believe, was born in 2021, and he's got babies with his wife born in 2022 and 2025. So it seems to me there was likely some overlap. This is contentious. Not entirely sure why he brought the wife to do the exchange. That didn't help situations. The other thing is that if you listen to what she's saying, it suggests that there's history beyond the video, and he's there at that moment, but it doesn't sound from what she's saying that he's particularly engaged, which might be fueling why the kid's upset. But I do think that the language was unfortunate in front of the kids. You don't want the kids to internalize that kind of thing. If she was at her highest vibration, she would have tried to make it seem really fun for the kid to go with him.
Exactly.
Even if she had a problem and then dealt with it separately.
Right. Like if you're thinking that this exchange is going to be like cause some type of emotional stress on the child, why wouldn't you prep him for the handoff? Why wouldn't you prep him for the handoff? I've seen this. I have 5 brothers and sisters who all have kids, and you have to prep that child for stopping to play games, to go home, leaving grandma, leaving grandpa. Even the favorite uncle like me, I've seen them cry because they got to leave me because I'm the one that spoiled them. I'm not out here trying to expose my brothers and sisters as being bad parents because the child cried because he wanted to stay with me. That's not making any sense to me.
We would always yell, 5 minutes, we're leaving, 10 minutes, we're leaving, get your stuff together. I mean, that's what it was. This was, like you said, Your Honor, this was a setup. She wanted this on video for whatever reason it was, and it was set up where mom was there, friend was there, and it's unfortunate that this kid had to be subject to it, and I feel for the kid.
All right, let's go to Latha Robert Smith says, excuse me, Al, I got a child. She needs to actually, I got a child. She needs to actually need to see why that baby cries like that. That little boy crying like his daddy is a stranger. I didn't catch any of that. I didn't see any of that. Christine R says, fake ass Muslim. This chick is crazy. She reminds me of Sybil. You're right about that. Miss Shaw says, 11,000 is great. I have 3 children and all I got was $600 a month. Ooh, I'm sorry. Our own lawyer said, right, why did he bring the wife to do the exchange? What? Are y'all kidding me? That doesn't even make any sense to me. Taya said he probably brought his wife so that Brittany couldn't say he was trying to holler at her.
Well, I recognize the situation.
Manisha Phillips says, yes, she was real mad. His wife was in the car. Oh, Afra Singh says, so very sad. I agree. JP Mills says, Brittany can say what she wants. She's the one with the camera. True. Deliria Washington says, stop acting ugly in front of your children. True. And Taya said, I'm mad the wife reacted to that nonsense. Me too. I was like, come on, lady. You were almost done. He was almost done.
You're the wife. Just let him handle it.
The other thing,
Colette Davis says, Renner was being antagonistic. That's how I saw it too. She knew the child would cry and she escalated. Yep. That's exactly how I interpret that.
But all right, to this point and to your point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the door and taking a child that's young without any prep with the child, that's also hard. So what the supervised visitations can do is to have him come, maybe stay a while, have the child warm up to him, as opposed to coming, standing at the door and expecting it to go well when the child's only like 3.5 years old. So right. It was actually, if you could have bet that this wasn't going to go well for that kid. Kids love their mothers.
Yeah, Attorney Weiss, tell me, what does a supervised exchange, what would a supervised exchange look like?
Either a court personnel or an independent social worker or someone hired by the family would be there and know that, okay, at 3:00 every Saturday, there's going to be an exchange. Mom hands the kid to that supervisor. That person walks over and takes and gets it to the dad. Or it could just be as simple as just standing there and everybody keeps their mouth shut. But it's basically somebody that's there, they're appointed by the court or they're agreed upon, they get paid for that, and mom, dad, or mom and dad can split that. And it makes sure things like this don't happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should be a good way of handling it. All right, let's go to the algorithms. Algorithms, you know what the streets are saying? That Brittany Renner trapped PJ Washington for child support. So what do you believe? Did she? Do you believe Brittany Renner trapped PJ Washington for child support? Or is that just a toxic gossip rumor? Drop down in the chat and put, yes, she planned it, or no, just a bad breakup. Well, they weren't together that long. So I can't imagine that it was just a bad breakup. All right, speaking of bad, Young Thug's RICO case is hip-hop history in the making. Prosecutors say YSL is not a label, but a gang. Gunna took on Alford plea. I want to know what that is. Gunna took an Alford plea, acknowledging enough evidence to convict while maintaining innocence. Now, leaked audio suggests Thug himself thinks Gunna's plea gave prosecutors the ammo they needed. In court, prosecutors call it cooperation. And the streets, they call it snitching. All right, let's go to our resident expert on this case, Ashley Carter. Talk to me. Should plea deals from co-defendants be allowed to share trials of the main defendant?
Repeat your
I'm
question
sorry.
again.
Could plea deals from co-defendants be allowed to shape trials of the main defendant?
Well, yeah, by default, it is going to shape it, right? Because the plea deal, typically you are giving some information in exchange for you not going to jail or you having a lesser sentence. So it's going to shape the other defendant's fate, especially if you're giving information that essentially holds them liable. I mean, Gunna literally said on record that YSL was not just a record label, that it was a gang. That right there was a key part of the RICO, right? Because RICO, it has to be organized crime. It can't just be one individual doing crime. So just like with Diddy and Bad Boy, them trying to make it seem like Bad Boy was a criminal enterprise where there were multiple people creating crimes together, like that was their purpose. They did the same thing with YSL. So by Gunna literally saying that yes, it is a gang, he kind of gave them their RICO. So right. and also correction, it's not just him talking about Gunna. Specifically, this moment has gone viral because he's even saying their CEO was participating and also snitching to the feds about the case.
All right, before we go to Sean Carter, and Sean Carter, you tell me what you know about this case. Let's look at the collateral that we have regarding Gunna.
This what he did. He made, which they still got to prove the shit though, which I don't think they're gonna ever be able to prove because it's just not a game. He gave the jurors the agreement that it's a gang. He said YSL is a gang, and he know people in this on this trial who committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. That means you did it. You saying. You see what I'm saying? You don't know nobody on this case. Yeah. That's a lie. That's a full-blown lie. I know individuals right. on this case that committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. Like you committed people just so you can say slime big. Like that's real. That's what RICO is. That's RICO. So if a nigga get found guilty on RICO, nigga, you really you got a nigga lights up, nigga.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go to you, Attorney Carter, because I'm still kind of lost in all of this. All right, explain to me exactly what's going on in this case. Explain to me why we are calling. What's an Alford plea first?
Okay, so
and then Gunna took an Alford plea. So tell me what an Alford plea is, because I need to know what that means. And the second thing that I need to know is the other collateral that we're going to hear later. Does it really suggest that Gunna is a snitch?
Okay, so let's just get one quick background thing. 2022, 28 YSL members get arrested. All right, they wrap them all up. Gunna's in there, and Gunna's like, hey, I ain't about all this. All right. And so he says in 2022, he does an Alford plea. An Alford plea basically says this: I didn't do this, but it looks really, really bad. All right. And so I'm just going to go ahead and plead guilty now, but I didn't do it. But I know it looked pretty bad, and you're probably going to convict me anyway. So I'm going to take my plea. He doesn't, in fairness, he does say it's a criminal enterprise, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. And it didn't really affect Young Thug. He ended up he ended up doing 2 years on the RICO, but he got out 2 years earlier than everybody else. He out there making albums, going platinum, doing features with Offset. He probably had a little Cardi B. He enjoying himself, right? And and Young Thug is in jail all this time. Like, hey, Gunna's a snitch. Recently, there's tape that came out that showed from 2015. Gunna and the Young Thug is in an interrogation. I think we got that. We got that right, Bailiff?
This motherfucker Wayne from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga fucking damn shot at this nigga to us. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did it. Roscoe, but I don't wanna block. I don't want to block out y'all case by saying Roscoe didn't do that. You know Roscoe? Man, that man a fucking scrub. That fool. I'm like,
Okay.
You shot at somebody, bro?
All right, Baylor.
Well, I don't fucking know.
So you get the point. Basically, all this time for the last 2 years, they've been calling Gunner a snitch, and Gunner's like, hey, I didn't start snitching. Y'all were snitching back in 2015. I didn't, by the way, get you any more time. I didn't say you did this, you did that. I just simply said it's a criminal enterprise. I don't know who was doing crimes, but somebody was doing crimes up in here, and please let me out. And so there's an argument now of who the biggest snitch is. I'm going to tell you right up front. You know who the biggest snitch is? Me. All right? if you catch me with some stuff and I know you did some stuff, you know, I'm telling them where Waldo is, all right? Where Dora the Explorer is. I'm telling where my mama is, that she did, because my mama did a little bit of 9/11. I ain't gonna lie. All right, but the point is that he did what a rational person would do and say, hey, and I love the fact that, you know, he really didn't snitch that much. Now, Young Thug, in his defense, he definitely did not snitch on the YSL gang, all right, because he did the 2 years they had to do. He took a plea that gave me 20 years probation, and he had a non-negotiated plea. And let me explain to you what a non-negotiated plea is. There's two types of pleas. When you plead guilty, you can get a negotiated plea. Negotiated plea says, hey, prosecutors agreed for 2 years. If the judge comes in and says, no, I'm not going to go for 2 years, you can pull your plea back and say, well, hey, I'm not guilty then. That's a rare thing you get, and you usually only get at that if you turn state's evidence. So if you're the mob guy, Graziano or whatever, you can then get a negotiated plea. Gunner didn't have, Young Thug didn't have that plea. He went up there, and the judge, it was like Vegas. The judge could have gave him 20 years, and he would have had to take it. So usually, if you get a non-negotiated plea, you haven't been cooperating. So I'm going to give Young Thug credit. He probably didn't snitch on anybody, except for maybe that weird 2015 tape. But as far as Gunner's concerned, he definitely took an Alfred plea. He didn't name anybody specifically, and he got to make a lot of albums since then. And I ain't mad at him. My mama ain't either.
All right, let's go to Christine R. Christine R. says, look at Carter Esquire with the low fade afro trying to be sexy. Let me go look for my red slip. Alfred Singh says, I think that's called dry snitching.
It's dry snitching. It's a little dry, little.
Right. You didn't name names, but you said it was a criminal enterprise. You still said
right. Alfred Singh says, at Rodney, Maiden right and no glasses today. Somebody said, laughing LMAO at Christine R. Are you secretly his wife on the chat? Oh, that's funny. Okay, and then Taya says, Swiper, oh God, Swiper, no snitching. All right.
That's the Dora Explorer thing. Swiper, no swiper.
Yeah. All right, let's go to last question I have for you, Attorney Turner. Is using rap lyrics, we know we talked about this a couple of times on this show before, is using rap lyrics as evidence a violation of free expression?
No, it's really just holding people accountable for what they say and requiring them to defend on the grounds that I was just playing, right? The problem is that their image, their street cred, and their brand is conditioned upon people believing that they're actually hard. And so they don't really want to say that publicly. But if they know what I know and what Attorney Carter knows, you just sing like a canary and say they did it.
All right, let's go to the algorithm. Algorithm, did Gunna sell out Young Thug with his plea, or did he just protect himself? Let me ask the question one more time. Did Gunna sell out Young Thug with his plea, or just protect himself? Drop down in the chat and say yes, he sold him out, or no, he protected himself. Let me ask it one more time. Did Gunna sell out Young Thug with his plea, or just protect himself? Drop down in the chat, put yes, sold him out, or no, he was protecting himself. All right, as we get those responses in the chat, let's keep it going. Karen Huger, yes, the Grand Dame of Potomac, who crashed her Maserati in 2020, is finally out of jail. She was convicted of DUI and sentenced to 2 years with 1 suspended. She served only 6 months before being released early for good behavior. She now faces probation a driving ban, and a lifetime AA commitment. Now, fans are split on this because some say redemption, others say reality star gets celebrity privilege. Bailiff, take it away.
Hi, Karen.
All right, let's go to you, our resident entertainment attorney. This is my question here. Should repeat DUI offenders like Huger get harsher sentences to deter others and themselves?
In general, yes. I do think you, at some point, if you're, again, the key word is repeat, your sentence should be a little harsher to not just teach yourself a lesson, but to also make sure everybody else sees that as this can also happen to me. But I have to come into Karen's defense. I think that even though she was a repeat offender, it wasn't like she was a repeat offender, like really close in time. Like some of them wait. Years prior. I think like 10, like in the 90s. Like when you look at the span of when she did them, it wasn't like they were back to back to back to back to back. So I'm not saying she isn't a repeat offender, but I don't think they were so close in time that I feel like at this point she knows that.
Order. I got to have order here. Hold on. Now. It is never okay to drive while drinking. I don't care if it happened. I don't care if it happened. A repeat is a repeat is a repeat.
Yeah,
I don't care. You should not get behind the wheel.
Do you think
if you are drinking?
Do you think she would have gotten this
someone's life? You can take someone's life.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, since you're the judge. Do you think she would have gotten the same sentence if she wasn't on Real Housewives of Potomac? I kind of feel like they used her celebrity. I'll be honest with you.
I feel like she used her celebrity for sure, but she used that Real House of Potomac money to get a good lawyer to know how to freaking go to court and plead her way out of this. Attorney Carter, talk to me, please, before my blood pressure goes up on the other Carter.
What about?
What are your thoughts about? First of all, I felt like she got off. I felt like she should be happy. I feel like she should never drive drinking again. She better have an Uber driver. And I also feel like her celebrity did afford her, opportunities that other people wouldn't. She's a repeat offender.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of incarceration as a preventative measure. I think treatment, making sure by the way, I think she has a lifetime. She got to go to those AA meetings. All right. What I would do though is I would have given her another 6 months for coming out of jail with theme music. All right, you can't come out of jail, all right, with your own theme music. Also, where'd she get that wig? Is that prison issue wig, or did she bring that with her?
You know what? Somebody probably making wigs in prison, Attorney Carter, because it's a whole industry. Yeah, all you need are the right things, and so she must have found a wig lady in prison so that she could.
What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on her? What are your thoughts on her, Attorney Turner? What are your thoughts on her sentence and her getting out so quickly?
I think it goes to Attorney Carter's point, which is what is the purpose of the incarceration, and do we believe that she could be rehabilitated? And so I think that the fact that she was facing such a long time, she got out for 6 months. Now, the interesting thing is it's not her who orchestrated this. It had to do with how many spaces there were in jail, I believe. And so some people had the ability to get out with shorter sentences, and she was one of the people who benefited from it. So we shouldn't criticize her about it. It's the system that apparently needs to be revised if you don't agree with this. But I think that the lifetime of AA should achieve the goal that we want, which is to rehabilitate her so that she can keep entertaining us and making us laugh and have better wigs.
Attorney Weiss, is early release for good behavior real rehabilitation or a loophole for the privilege?
So one thing I want to go back and just say really quickly is that originally the recommended sentence was supposed to be 6 months, and the judge said, no, I'm going to give her a year. Then when she was serving the year, they went ahead and for good behavior, went ahead and reduced it. Look, you can get a reduced sentence for working in the kitchen, for doing good by others, to going to AA, to doing things. So anybody can get good behavior, and usually in state in state jail, you only go ahead and serve anywhere from 75 to 80% of your sentence anyway. She wasn't in federal custody. But good behavior, yeah, they're going to take the less violent criminals, the less serious criminals, and the people that are going to get out sooner. And because of overpopulation, they're going to push them out so they can house the more serious offenders.
All right, Def God said that she got the wig from Cardi. Taya said prison issued wig. Christine R said they make nappy wigs in prison out of coochie hair. Oh my!
She didn't get a conjugal visit. She got a wig visit. What can I tell you? You know.
Please stop.
Glam fans in prison wigs. Oh my God! Y'all showing out tonight. Y'all really are showing out. SL said they drink at AA. Oh my goodness. LVF says this shows me that as a serious matter, it sadly seems it's taken very light. That's what I say. I gotta say that too. I don't know. I just feel like that, especially when it's a celebrity and it's all over the news, right? And everyone's talking about it. You know, when it happened, it was a disaster. Here she is drinking again, putting people's lives at danger. Then she gets her sentence, and then she gets out early. Are we sending the right message, or what message are we actually sending to people that drink and drive and kill thousands and thousands and thousands of innocent people every year? Just not sure I'm with that. I'm just not sure that I'm with that. Anybody want to share some last minute thoughts on that?
I just want to piggyback off what you said. So although I'm obviously a Karen fan, I hear what you're saying about whether you're a fan of someone or not, you don't want their release or early release to send the wrong message. So right. I understand what you're saying here, that in this particular case, it could be sending the wrong message, that as long as you are a celebrity, you'll probably get off. Or if there's overcrowding, you'll get off. That we're not taking it as seriously as we should.
True.
All right, let's take the thing. She's only not allowed to drive for a period of 1 year from today. So, ladies and gentlemen that live anywhere near her, in a year and a day, watch yourself.
September 3rd next year.
All right, let's go to the algorithms. Let you guys decide. Juries of viewers, guilty or not guilty of benefiting from her celebrity privilege. Do you think she's that her early release was a fair outcome, or was it celebrity privilege? If you think it was a fair outcome, drop down in the chat and put fair. If you think it was celebrity privilege, put in the chat privilege. Once again, was Karen Huger's early release a fair outcome or celebrity privilege at work? Drop down in the chat, fair or privilege. All right, everybody, this is time to show that we go back through the cases and decide if they're guilty or not guilty. First up, we have Buster, Daryl Buster. The question here is, is he guilty or not guilty of running a dating scam empire? Attorney Ashley Carter, what say you?
He definitely scammed those women. Guilty.
Attorney Carter, what say you?
He's guilty for not thinking big enough. All right. My wife probably gave him $200-300 grand. I don't know what he was thinking about, but come on, brother, raise your stakes. All right, raise your stakes.
Raise your prices, right? All right, Attorney Turner.
He's guilty. He played those women like a football.
All right, Attorney Weiss, what say you?
If Attorney Carter's wife is given $200,000 to $300,000, hey, give me her IG so I can slip right in there. Guilty.
That's why she ain't in the comments.
I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court, and we're going to find Buster guilty. Guilty is charged of leading those women on and thinking that they were going to get some but all they got was IOUs with no return. Next up, we have PJ Washington and Brittany Renner. Is Brittany Renner guilty or not guilty of trapping PJ Washington and causing this fury amongst the kid? Attorney Sean Carter, what say you?
Yeah, but she only partially guilty. All right, PJ guilty for keep falling for what's it called? Fitness influencers. That ain't nothing but a woman with a BBL and a blender. All right, that ain't a thing. All right, that's all you got is a bunch of BBLs and blenders. That ain't gonna work out well for you, brother. All right, look at this. That's all you got is a big old butt. You know. By the way, I love the fact she was wearing a hijab, but apparently no drawers because she's pregnant. Anyway, but I don't even want to talk about it. All right.
Attorney Ashley Carter, what say you? Guilty or not guilty?
What's the question again? Is Brittany guilty?
Is she guilty? No, is Brittany guilty of trapping PJ Washington or not? Guilty or not guilty?
I don't think she's guilty. They were in a relationship for a good period of time.
It was 6 months. It was 6 months.
More than 6 months. I remember when she moved from LA. It was more than 6 months.
All right, Attorney Weiss, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. I'm confused on the question, so guilty.
No,
Is she guilty of trapping PJ Washington?
Yes, yes, she absolutely is. That was set up, and that whole thing was almost as bad as Nas X.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go to you, Attorney Turner.
Are we talking about trapping him to get pregnant? Or
right, I think that's why I was confused.
Yeah, because as long as there are condoms, I will never say that a woman trapped a man to get pregnant.
Maybe he's talking about recording the video.
I'm talking about
the video.
Hold on. I gotta get back. Let's go back to Turner real quick, please. Say that one more time.
As long as there are condoms, I will never vote guilty for a woman trapping a man to get pregnant. Ever.
Even if she doesn't make him put the condom on?
It's his penis. It's his. I mean,
fair enough.
Yeah, but it's her tussy cat.
Yeah, but see, the thing is you're saying trapped as if somehow there was some
force
that he was incapable of defending against. He is completely aware.
The tussy cat make you do crazy things, Attorney Turner.
No, don't use that
I can't go with you there. I can't go with you there.
Y'all got me messed up. Y'all don't go to Walmart and see all them babies in them strollers. Good tussy cat will get you every single time.
Don't use the word trap. Don't use the word
there was no.
All right, well, I'm going to say I'm Al Reynolds and I'm the judge, and I'm going to find Brittany Renner guilty for throwing that tussy cat. Got that man confused, and now they got a baby and they fighting. All right. Next up, Young Thug and YSL RICO. All right, is Gunner guilty of being a snitch or not? Attorney Ashley Carter, what say you?
Yes, he said that they were a criminal enterprise.
Damn, Carter.
He didn't name names, but he snitched and said they were a criminal enterprise.
All right, Attorney Turner, what say you?
This one confused me. So somebody's guilty of something, and there was a rat picture, and so I think it's Gunner. I don't know.
Attorney, you are not going to ever be on my cases. Attorney White, save us. Is Gunner guilty of being a snitch?
I think whoever made that Instagram post right there is guilty of pure genius. And yeah, I think he's a snitch to some extent.
All right, Attorney Carter, round us off. Is he guilty or not guilty?
Ain't no such thing as being guilty of a snitch. All right. I don't know where the street code became. I'm supposed to go to jail for the rest of my life. All right, because you acting a fool too. You shouldn't have done it with me. All right. If you don't want me to snitch, then don't let me know about it.
All right. I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court, and we're going to find Gunner guilty. Guilty. I think sharing any type of information like that can be viewed as snitching, especially if you use the street law. The street law is if you sing like a canary, you're a snitch. That's it, right? All right, last but not least, is Karen Huger guilty or not guilty of getting out too early? Attorney Weiss, what say you?
Guilty of getting out too early, and like I said, I got family in all parts of the world, and when I go visit September 3rd, I'm turning in my license.
Attorney Carter, Ashley Carter.
I'll say not guilty because Jason actually gave me a piece of information saying that her original sentence was supposed to be 6 months anyway. The judge gave her 12 months. So,
right. All right, Attorney Carter.
She's not guilty. What's she supposed to do? She got the year. They said get out. She supposed to say no. I'm supposed to stay here another 6 months. I like the year. No. Shit. I'm glad I'm proud she didn't try to escape because I've been trying to go over the wall.
All right, Attorney Turner.
She's not guilty. Anybody who deserves to be guilty is the system that decided to let her out in 6 months if people object. But I hope she gets the help she needs.
All right, I'm Alan. I'm the judge here. We're going to find her not guilty, but we're going to find her guilty of driving while drinking, which I don't like. And please, Grand Dame, don't ever do that again. All right, everybody, tonight we've seen it all. We've seen rumors turned into reputations. We've seen rumors turn into reputations, romance turned into fraud, loyalty tested under RICO, and a reality star's prison term cut short. Now, here's the bigger question. Is justice equal when fame is involved? That's a good question in this case. Does Brittany Renner get vilified because she's outspoken? Does Buster's fame make women easier marks? Does Gunner's plea prove prosecutors play chess while rappers play checkers? And does Karen Huger's early release show the system bends for those in the spotlight? Well, that's why celebrity court of public opinion exists, y'all. Because while the legal system runs on statutes and precedents, the public runs on perception. So, jury, your job isn't to follow the law. Your job is to tell the truth about the culture and how it makes you feel. So in your opinion, who's guilty? Who's innocent? And who's just too famous to end up in jail? I'm Al Reynolds, your judge for the culture. Court is now adjourned, or at least until the next scandal. Everybody have a good night, and thank you for watching.
Jazz hands.